Once again, a song titled Pa'ama goes a little something like this. Ah, yeah. At this time, we're going to feature our lovely Miliani as she do for a song of love entitled Kawai Lehua A'ala Kahunua. lehua a'ala ka honua. Mahalo. Once again, a song titled Pa'amau goes a little something like this. Ah, yeah. At this time, we're going to feature our lovely Miliani as she do for a song of love entitled Kawai Lehua A'ala Ka Honua.
It's been a year since Ascend 2019, and we're not in Cancun like we planned, but like everything, the show must go on. So let's do this. Welcome everyone to Ascend 2020. Our team is ready and we hope you are too, because this starts the turning of the tides. You know, yesterday it was the first day of fall. You know, and as fall changes, we're looking forward to the change of seasons as well. We're ready to put the past months behind us and we're looking forward to the next chapter. I hope you all enjoyed our opening today with Kuleana and the beautiful images of Hawaii. You know, he's been with us in past conferences and we were so glad he could join us again today. And a big, big thank you to the Hawaii Convention and Visitors Bureau. They're our general session sponsor today. And I also hope you enjoyed some pre-show events over the last few days. We've had virtual FAMs, we've had some wellness sessions, and we had our big kickoff event last night with AM Resorts. So thank you, AMR, for helping us start the conference with some energy and some excitement. We are so grateful for all you do for our agents and for our customers. You deliver incredible and today safe vacations. Now we wish we were all at one of those fabulous resorts right now, but we're actually coming to you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin and Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. And we thank you all for joining us from your homes and your offices. So we're not in Cancun like we expected Ascend to be at this year, and you can see we're adhering to the new rules, social distancing, our ALG masks, but I did take my mask off when I entered the room so that you can hear me. But my camera guy, Max, he has his on, and right now it's just the two of us. This is so different than what I'm used to. First, you know me, I like to walk the stage, so having to stand in one place, bear with me. And I'm gonna miss all the energy that you bring, my live audience being with me, but I'm gonna imagine that you are here. And normally, most important, I'd like to bring up all the ALG family to have them up on stage with me because they are the heart of this company. But I'm gonna give them a big shout out and a thank you for making this first virtual Ascend conference possible. You didn't get to see them all in that fun opening video, but there are so many incredible team members who we owe a gratitude for this event. Now, we can't all be together, but I'm not gonna miss the chance to go live to our BDMs. They're on cue, you know them, you love them, and they're gonna be with us in spirit in their homes. So Max, can you cue them up? So that was great to see them because I do miss seeing them in person and I miss being with all of you in market or in destination. You know, we're an industry of relationships. We work so hard and we like to play just as hard. But I know lately it feels like we're just working really hard. And it's crazy to think all that has happened and changed since Ascend 2019. If you were at last year's conference, you remember we were asking each other, what if? Well, first, when I asked what if I ever had to color my hair myself, I learned to do it during quarantine. Glad that's over. You know, but we've all adjusted to this new world. And if you notice, I'm wearing a t-shirt and it says, I will survive. It's a song I love to play just about every day to face my challenges. So not only will I survive, but we will survive. Now, we all know it's a popular song, The Man Who Does Wrong by His Woman, but we all have to find our mojo and our motivation. For me, I start my day with a virtual workout, with David, our wellness coach, who you saw it on the lawn. Maybe a protein shake, and that little bit of Gloria Gaynor, it just gives me what I need, and I'm pretty good to go. Now, whatever you do to tackle your day and whatever you might face, we are just so grateful you choose to show up and do what you do best. You have proven why customers who booked with you are 100 times in a better place than the customers who took their vacations in their own hands. You ultimately proved you are doctors of vacations. Now, beyond finding the courage and the motivation and that energy, what's been another key to us surviving this? Humor. Now, I think we've all found how good we are at the fashion mullets. You know what I'm talking about. Business on top, scrubs on the bottom. I don't even actually know who came up with that term. But yes, you are looking at a picture my husband took of me every day because I did get half dressed. Now, those are my favorite yoga pants, and I may have to burn them, though, after COVID. So how about all those clever memes and those pictures and those videos? These are some of my favorites, but I'm sure you have yours too. I know my dogs, they got walked more during COVID than they probably did in their whole lives. In Zoom, for me, it was the determining factor on whether I got ready that day. And hopefully no one was judging if there was a few more bottles of wine in the recycling bin, because I know my neighbors, I checked theirs out too. I think we were all in this together. And of course, we're never going to forget the bizarre world of Tiger King. That pretty much sums up the year. So maybe you laughed, maybe you cried, and maybe it was just even a little bit of both, because we found ourselves facing challenges greater than we could have ever imagined. And you likely had days that you loved us here at ALGV, but there are days you probably threw darts at us, and that's honestly my nice way of saying how you felt, because we didn't get everything right during COVID, and for that, we are truly sorry. There was so much we had to learn and we had to adapt to, but I hope you know we worked tirelessly with you and your customers at the heart of every effort we made. And we are proud of so many of the great things we were able to do. There's always going to be the highs and the lows in our business. Now, over the next 2 days, we have a lot we want to share with you. Our goal is to help you and your business. We want to give you confidence at ALG Vacations that we're the strong and viable company to support you, to provide your customers with amazing vacations, and that ultimately, if we do that, you're going to have a renewed sense of positive momentum for what the future can bring. We have some great presenters in our general sessions and our workshops. We have an incredible keynote speaker, and it's going to feel like you're walking the trade show floor this afternoon when you interact with all those wonderful suppliers. Now, as I shared in the beginning, this is definitely not what we had planned for Ascend 2020, but we've all proven we're adaptable, we definitely never give up, and I always say, the show must go on. So I hope you enjoy Ascend 2020 as much as we have in creating it for you. Now, I'm going to leave you with a quote. So I love quotes, most of you know that, my team knows that, and I got to do something during quarantine that I never have time to do, and that's watching Netflix. And I had the chance to watch the Last Dance, which was Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, and I can tell you what an incredible legacy and journey they had. But what I love that he said, talent, that's what wins games. But teamwork and intelligence, that's the difference in what wins championships. Now, I know you're all talented, but what's going to get us through the challenges that we're facing today is teamwork, and how all of us at ALGV work together with all of you and all of our suppliers, because ultimately we have to do it together. And we have to continue to challenge ourselves, and we have to grow, because we can't keep doing what we've always done. It's just not going to work. So I hope that you find the information that we've provided in the workshops to help you add to your knowledge and your ability to succeed. Together, I'm confident we're not only going to survive, but we're going to thrive. And our championship, it's going to be when we kick COVID's butt, and we are going to come out stronger than ever. So now, our next presenter, she's a very important part of our team. She's a friend to all, and she can't wait to welcome you back to the beautiful islands of Hawaii. Now, Robin's going to come to you from her home in Chicago because, if she joined us here in Milwaukee, she'd have to quarantine. We're going to go to Chicago in a moment, but before we do, we actually have a question, a live poll, so get ready because we're going to ask you this. At the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a question pop up. You're going to have about 45 seconds to answer. We're going to be selecting a random winner from those that answer the question. So when Robin's done, she and I will come back and we'll announce the winner. So the question is, what is the time frame you are receiving inquiries from your clients to travel to Hawaii? Is it late 2020, Q1 2021, Q2 2021, Q3 or 4 2021, and I hope not this last answer, but you're not getting any inquiries at all. So answer quickly, and now, Robin, take it away.
E nā au mā kua mai kalai kia kalakau mai ka pailuna ka pailalo nā au mā kua i taupo nā au mā kua i ke au nā e tupuna pauloa palei taupo panapanoa pukai ke au e ho mai e ike ho mai e loa anuia ka pula pula e no nei ke au nei e a mama ua noa.
Wow, wasn't that a beautiful way to kick off our Hawaii General session? With that, I want to say aloha travel advisors. I'm honored to be a general session sponsor again this year at ALG Ascend. A sincere mahalo to JACKI and the entire ALG team for bringing us all together during these difficult times. And I think that many of us have realized over the past few months the importance of ohana, or family. And I know that many of you have seen Kaniela, our incredible musician, at a variety of ALG events. And we were thrilled this year to have his beautiful ohana be able to join us virtually from Maui. And I have to say, it's been an incredibly challenging months for many of us. We've all had to quickly adapt both personally and professionally during this pandemic. It has changed the way that we live, interact with others, work, and of course, travel. Through all of that, I continue to be optimistic. If time has shown anything, it has shown us that the travel advisor role becomes even more imperative in times of crisis. Whether it was the Gulf War, 9/11, or the current pandemic we are experiencing, travel advisors have always shown their innate ability to pivot and adapt. And times of uncertainty are when travelers seek updated travel information from a trusted source. We are truly confident that Hawaii's tourism industry and, of course, travel advisors will ensure that Hawaii continues to be one of the premier destinations on the planet. And we only have a short time for this session, so I'm going to cover 3 key points. What is currently happening in Hawaii and where we are headed, why Hawaii is an ideal destination when clients are looking to travel post-COVID, and most importantly, how HVCB can help prepare you so that you're ready to sell Hawaii when we reopen to visitors. And as this session is more of a high-level overview, Alexandra Roth, our Eastern Regional Director, will provide a more in-depth session that'll get more into all of the islands and a more comprehensive overview of the travel advisor resources. So to give you perspective on what's happening in Hawaii and the methodology of our marketing campaigns and strategies, I'll provide some background on Hawaii's market situation and how we went from over-tourism to under-tourism in a very short period of time. So in 2019, Hawaii enjoyed another record-setting year of visitor arrivals and visitor spend, topping 10 million visitors for the first time in the destination's history. And as of February, as recently as February, we were on track for our 9th year of consecutive growth. So even though tourism, of course, is the lifeblood of Hawaii's economy, as we reached those peak numbers of visitor arrivals, we needed to shift our focus, not only striving to increase visitor arrivals and exceed visitor satisfaction, but also to be more mindful of the potential impact on local residents. And it's crucial that we be thoughtful about how we can better manage our resources, and it's important to focus on balancing the interest of residents and visitors that we invite to come to the islands. We also understand that our infrastructure can only accommodate a certain amount of visitors, and we need to be sure that they are the right type of visitors, the high-value visitors that stay longer and spend more, and of course, are responsible travelers. And that's one of the key reasons we work so closely and invest in travel advisors as you continue to deliver the right type of visitors to the Hawaiian Islands. So between February and late March, we quickly go from over-tourism to under-tourism. And navigating COVID-19 has not been easy for Hawaii. Hawaii has that long-standing tradition of welcoming visitors from around the world, and tourism, again, is the #1 industry in the state. However, during these unprecedented times, we continue to focus on the health and safety of our community, visitor industry employees, and of course, the healthcare system. The focus has been and continues to be on mitigating the spread of COVID-19 through the 14-day mandatory quarantine that has been extended through the end of September, contact tracing and even outbound calls, making sure that the visitors are complying with the quarantine, and of course, working on pre-testing protocols, which are right now scheduled to be implemented on October 1st, of course, subject to change. But that will enable visitors that take a test 72 hours prior, present a negative result upon arrival, then they will be able to bypass the 14-day quarantine. So Alex will be providing more detailed information in her session, but of course, you can get more information and updates at agentswithans.gohawaii.com. So as Hawaii begins its road to reopening, it's important for you to have an understanding of what the destination offers. You know, and as a travel professional, you want to sell destinations that exceed client expectations. And Hawaii enjoys one of the highest visitor satisfaction rates of any destination at 98% of visitors rating their experience as excellent or above average. And when clients visit a destination and they are delighted, they're wanting to come back. So 90% of our visitors are experiencing that likelihood to come back to the destination. Hawaii was also noted as the top U.S. destination for luxury travelers in a 2019 MMGY global survey. Hawaii is also the perfect destinations for clients traveling post-COVID. As you can imagine, everything that offers is perfect for that type of vacation experience. You look at a gorgeous natural environment on all of the islands. Fresh air and blue skies can be experienced throughout the islands, and here is at the summit of Haleakala Crater on Maui. Wide open spaces to get off the beaten path and just enjoy and discover your own little corner of Hawaii. Of course, clean, clear waters, cleaner and clearer as they've ever been, as they've had that pause from the visitors. And of course, the welcoming spirit of aloha that truly keeps visitors coming back year after year. And as Hawaii is part of the U.S., but the most remote island chain in the world, it offers clients the ease, convenience, and comfort of U.S. travel, but with that exotic feel of the South Pacific culture, truly giving your clients the best of both worlds. This puts Hawaii in a good position to recover post-COVID, as there's been a surge in the number of travel advisor requests for U.S. destinations. In a June survey with MMGY and Travel Market Report, 40% of all travel advisor inquiries were for U.S. destinations, and that was up 110% from pre-COVID levels. So we anticipate the demand for Hawaii will be strong. And Hawaii is a world-class destination with a truly unique brand that offers 6 Hawaiian islands and 6 unique experiences. You know, from crystal clear blue waters to stunning green cliffs, Hawaii's wealth of natural beauty is an incredible backdrop for unforgettable experiences. And in our marketing efforts for the Hawaiian Islands, we stay true to our brand pillars, which emphasizes what makes Hawaii unique and different. We talk about diversity in people, in islands, in experiences. Each island truly offers its own unique personality, landscape, and activities, providing something for every type of traveler. And the jaw-dropping natural beauty is absolutely incredible, from stunning oceanscapes, as you can see here, to lush green rainforests and waterfalls, to taking in a sunrise or a sunset from the top of a volcanic crater. Hawaii's natural beauty is truly unmatched. But what is really unique about Hawaii is that welcoming aloha spirit. And aloha is more than a greeting. It really is a value system that's woven in through the fabric of the Hawaiian people. And again, is something that is so appreciated by travelers year after year. And of course, everything we do is on the base of the Hawaiian culture. It is something that truly differentiates Hawaii from any place in the world, and something that our mutual visitors are looking for, as 80% of clients are looking for some type of historical or cultural experience in their vacation. And these brand pillars really helped shape our marketing campaign. Hawaii Rooted is an incredible campaign which features local ambassadors sharing their stories from a very unique point of view as people of Hawaii. These stories focus on Hawaiian traditions that we may think we know a lot about, such as surfing or hula. But these particular storytellers help to shed light and help us recognize and appreciate the richness and deep cultural significance of these Hawaiian traditions. So we have 17 different stories featuring all of the Hawaiian Islands, and I'm going to show you a short little video now that will give you a sense of what this campaign is all about.
Culture needs to be shared. A lot of people never see us for who we are because they never get to see the culture.
The Hawaiian Islands have this mana, have this energy calling to us.
We come from a very special place. It's very important to keep all of these things going. If nobody does it, then who will?
So these videos are available at hawaiirooted.com. And as we get closer to reopening, I encourage you to share them on social media as they really illustrate a unique perspective on Hawaii that tends to pique the interest of potential travelers. In addition to Hawaii Rooted, last year we launched our Tourism Kuleana campaign. And Kuleana in Hawaiian means responsibility. And as the destination marketing organization of Hawaii, it is our responsibility to ensure that Hawaii is the special place as it is for generations to come, and that visitors leave Hawaii better than they found it. We feel this story is best shared by the people of Hawaii as they have a unique perspective. And our goal shouldn't necessarily be for the visitors to live like locals for a week. That's not really possible, but maybe we can help them understand like locals. And we need to guide the visitors to those type of experiences which are positive, not only for visitors, but of course, for Hawaii as well. So some of these key concepts for the Kuleana campaign are preserving natural resources. And that could be like using reef-safe sunscreen to preserve the natural reefs in Hawaii, or staying on the trails when hiking to ensure the survival of the local flora and fauna. Perpetuating the Hawaiian culture is critical, as again, it sets Hawaii apart from any other place in the world. You'll see examples of this throughout Hawaii, such as Native Hawaiian festivals and events, hotels and activity partners, always incorporating these cultural experiences that really provide a more enriching experience for our visitors. We do have a variety of these videos aligned with each island brand, and they can be found at our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/GoHawaii. So most importantly, I want to wrap up with the valuable resources we have available for you, our travel advisor partners. And our role as the Hawaii Visitors and Convention Bureau is to support you by providing you with destination information, sales and marketing resources, and education and training. So the best source for statewide and island-specific information is our travel professional website, agentswithan.gohawaii.com. Of course, in addition, we have important reopening updates available to you. We have e-newsletters that ensure you're aware of new developments in Hawaii, such as new air service, hotel renovations, activities, as well as local festivals and events. We also have cultural resources that provide you with essential information that you need to accurately depict the Hawaiian culture. We even have a Hawaiian language audio dictionary that highlights commonly used words and phrases to help assist with pronunciation. HVCB also provides a lot of great print and downloadable information, statewide brochures, individual island, as well as maps. We do have downloadable versions as well. And we have a wonderful image gallery with thousands of images and videos for you to use in your marketing efforts. Training and education is key. We offer 6 online certifications. All of the courses are complimentary, online, mobile compatible, and audio narrated to help with pronunciation. What I love about these is they're segmented into nice short modules, so you can really complete them at your convenience. And in addition to the knowledge that you will gain, there are valuable business building benefits exclusive for our specialists, such as consumer referrals and travel advisor discounts for those that complete all 6 certifications. So we have a team that is ready and here to assist you. My name is Robin Basso. I lead our statewide sales, marketing, and training efforts. I'm based in Chicago. Christina Aldenese is our Western Regional Director based out of Seattle. Alexandra Roth will be with us here. She is based in New York, covers Midwest and East Coast. We have our island chapters that are based on their respective islands, and we will all be available at our virtual booth. So please stop by and make sure to say aloha. And with that, I just want to say a sincere mahalo for all of you do to support the Hawaiian Islands. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure to visit our booth. And I really want to leave you with something special. As visitors have had to postpone their visits to Hawaii, we can't wait till we can safely reopen and they can experience all the best that Hawaii has to offer. So I'm going to close with a short video that highlights the diverse experiences Hawaii has to offer. This is Hawaii.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much, Robin, and for that amazing information and that content. It is just what we needed. We really appreciate you, your team, and all of our friends in Hawaii. You guys make it so easy to send our customers to the destination. And as you can see, I've come outside because you sent me this beautiful lei that I put on while you were speaking. And, you know, it might be the last 80-degree day we get here in Wisconsin, so I couldn't miss the opportunity to come out, pretend I'm in Hawaii with you after that, and talk about those live poll results, and also a fabulous trip we're about to give away.
Awesome. Mahalo, JACKI, and the entire ALG team for this opportunity to be with you virtually all today. And I'm excited to see the results of the poll about all the inquiries coming in for Hawaii. So the results are in. And what we're looking at, I'm thrilled to say that everyone seems to be getting inquiries for Hawaii, with the majority of the inquiries coming in Q1 and Q2 for 2021. So we're really excited to hear that. And don't forget the governor's announcement. He shared that Hawaii is going to be reopening for visitors on October 15th. So visitors that can take a COVID test 72 hours prior will be able to come. When they produce a negative result, they'll be able to bypass the quarantine. So we're thrilled to have that date and for you to start booking your wonderful vacations to Hawaii with ALG. So excited about that. And speaking of welcoming visitors back to Hawaii, we have one very lucky ALG Ascend attendee that's going to be winning an incredible prize. And that prize is courtesy of our friends at ALG Vacations, Amstar, Hyatt Hotels and Resorts of Hawaii, and Marriott Resorts Hawaii. So we've got 2 round-trip tickets from the mainland to Maui. We have 3 nights at the beautiful Hyatt Regency Maui Resort and Spa, 3 nights at the Marriott Wailea Marriott Beach Resort, 2 excursions, as well as 2 private round-trip transfers courtesy of Amstar. So JACKI, who's our
drum roll. That is amazing prize. So whoever wins, I am free to go. So drum roll, please. I believe someone's going to hand me the envelope just like the Emmys. And our winner of this fabulous trip, remember, I will go with you, Rebecca Hayward, Enchanted Memories Travel. Congratulations, Rebecca. You are going to have a fabulous time in Hawaii. So thank you again so much, Robin, for being here with us, sharing that. But don't forget, Robin has a booth in the Supplier Showcase, and I know she would love to talk to you more about all the great things happening in Hawaii. So, Robin, we're going to catch up later, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, JACKI. Aloha.
All right, so now not everyone gets to win a trip like Rebecca, but just because you didn't win now doesn't mean you can't win later. So remember, throughout the conference, you are going to have the opportunity to continue to accumulate points for the leaderboard, watch for Krabby, also watch for the downloading of the content and the watching of the videos. I heard that's really the way you start racking up the points. So a chance to learn and engage, and at the same time, get an opportunity to travel. So don't stop. And also during our workshops today, don't forget that there's going to be a winner in every workshop. We won't announce it in the workshop, but we will have that on the leaderboard as well, in the prizes. So attending workshops, learning also means prizes. And last, don't forget to keep engaging with us on social, hashtag Ascend 2020. And I'm so excited to be watching all of the posts and the camaraderie and the energy. I've been a little bit addicted to Facebook. My husband's asked me to get off the last couple of nights, but I really have been enjoying engaging with you as much as I can and seeing Ascend come to life. So thank you for that. And now I'm excited to turn it over to Mike Rayburn, because if you remember last year at King of Prussia, we had Mike join us, and he had us laughing and singing and dancing, and most importantly, expanding our minds while we had fun. He was asking us what if last year. And appropriately, we brought him back this year because now he's saying, what now? If you weren't with us in King of Prussia and you don't know who Mike Rayburn is, you're going to find out very quickly. He's a well-renowned speaker. He's traveled all over the world. And today, we're going to bring him to you from fabulous Las Vegas. We're all over the world in this conference. Vegas is another destination we love to travel to, to send our customers to. And it's truly been booming during COVID, which has been just amazing to see the people get back out to the destination. So, Max, I believe you're going to help transport our audience to fabulous Las Vegas. And Mike, you're going to take it away.
There we go. Thank you. I'm assuming that you're clapping. I'm so glad to be with you. I did that because the guitar is the best way that I have to illustrate something I am absolutely passionate about. I believe that we are each capable of far more than we ever knew was possible. I believe regardless of our level of success, which is obvious because you're here, we are each a gold mine of unrealized potential. And we are surrounded every moment of the day by opportunities to access that potential. Opportunities that by and large we miss. Opportunities to step beyond what's been done before, to look at old things in a new way. For me to play the guitar a little differently than it's been played for the last 500 years. And I'm going to assume that you guys agree with me, right? You're my people. So the question becomes, how do we access that potential? Now, as Jackie mentioned, I got the opportunity to share with you last year the What If keynote experience. And a few things have changed since then. I always like to ask people this. There's a question I've asked audiences for years. I want you to complete this phrase just in your mind. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Here's the problem with that. Time breaks everything. If it's working now, it likely will not be very soon. And guess what just happened about 6 months ago? Time broke everything. Don't get me wrong, this pandemic will end. Believe it or not, that's the good news. It will end. And things will happen that are similar to before. But everything will be changed in some way or another. What we need to remember, though, as we go forward, that in the wake of massive disruption, there is always massive opportunity. The question is, how do we access that opportunity? How do we act on the opportunities? How do we find them and do something about them? So, as you know, I shared the What If keynote experience. A number of you know that I shared that last year. And that question has never been more valid than right now. And you'll see where we're still going to use that a little bit. But what my clients, as Jackie said, what my clients have been asking me is, what now? What do we do now? So what I would like to do for you in the first 30 minutes that we have here is to share with you the two mindsets that you absolutely must adopt to be able to get the most out of what's happening right now. And then the three moves that every company, organization, and individual who are successful right now, and I don't mean 3 or 4 months ago or 6 months ago, I mean the ones who are successful right now, this is what they're doing. I'm going to share those with you in the next few minutes. And then I have the opportunity to share with you in about an hour later a 30-minute breakout session where we're going to kind of flesh these out a little bit and see exactly how we apply them. And both are going to be a lot of fun. So I invite you to join me for that. So first of all, As travel professionals especially, this is true for everyone, but especially for you, where your industry is based on fun, it's based on business, it's based on opportunity, helping others to find those. Number one, it is your job to not get discouraged. You need to be up. You need to see that there's hope. You need to share with others that there's hope. You need to let people know that things are going to be better and to be that reassuring force in people's lives. And number two, to get the most out of what's happening right now to serve your clients in the best way, what I need you to do is to think big, and to think big as you define big. So what I'd like to do right now is a little exercise, a little experiment. Okay, so what I'd like you, I know you're sitting there at home somewhere. I want you to do this for me. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about what you do right now. The essence of your business, the essence of your career, the essence of what you do for your clients and customers. Get a picture of it in your mind right now. Now, I want you to think big about that. I want you to expand the vision of what you do. Expand it. What else could it be? How big could it be? Again, it doesn't mean you're going to do this, but just let's expand our minds as to what's possible for you to do for your clients, for your business, for yourselves, for your teams. Expand that. Think big about that. Get a new picture of that in your mind right now. Okay? Now, I want you to take that new picture, and I want you to think bigger about it. I know, that's a little different. Think bigger about it. What if it was bigger than that? What would it look like? Get kind of crazy about it. Again, you're not committed to this. We're just imagining, right? Get a larger vision of what's possible. Okay, you've got that new picture, that grand picture. Now, I want you to think bigger than that. I want you to expand the vision of what you can do. Expand the vision of how you can serve clients and customers. Expand the vision of what's possible, income-wise, size of your organization, the impact that you have. Get grandiose about this. Get crazy, just for fun, just for a moment. Just get this grand new vision of what's possible. You got it? What does that feel like? Okay, now I want you to open your eyes. Open your eyes, come on back here. And I want you to realize that you're thinking small. Compared to what is possible, compared to what you and your teams are capable of, that grand third incarnation of a huge vision is actually thinking small. So, that doesn't mean you have to create whatever it is. You might, but it doesn't mean you have to. But it does mean that the limitation is not out there. The limitation is simply here. So as you expand your vision and your thoughts about what's possible will actually expand. So let's jump in. Those are the two mindsets. I need you to not get discouraged. And I need you to be willing to think big, to think differently, to think new about what's possible. I do my research, and as soon as COVID hit and things shut down, I went into research mode, and I went into, I wanted to learn, I wanted to see what was happening. So I studied my clients who were being successful, as well as some there was one or two that were not. I studied outside of my client base who was being successful. And I started looking for the common denominators. I was wondering, is there a common denominator amongst the people who are successful, again, amongst the individuals as well as the teams, as well as the entire organizations that are successful? And if I find a common denominator, I get excited because that's a tool that I can teach. Well, I found 3. And it's so interesting to me because I shared these in the call preparing for this. I shared these with JACKI and the team. I shared exactly what I was finding. And she said, I can't believe it. That's exactly what we're talking about. So these are the common denominators of organizations who are functional and working and thriving and not just surviving, but actually succeeding, some of them magnificently right now. 3 things that you have to do. So some of them tie into what I was sharing before. I'm going to give you a basis of how to apply each of those. And then we're going to go a little bit deeper once we get to the breakout session. So first of all, the teams and organizations who are successful. Number 1, they're discovering opportunities, particularly from their front line, from the people who are dealing with customers and clients and situations and challenges right immediately. Frontline managers, frontline salespeople, frontline service providers. The key here is to move from service provider to problem solver. It's a huge difference. Service provider to problem solver. A service provider comes in ready to do what they do, and that's absolutely valid. But the organizations who are successful right now, and we're talking from Orkin to Walmart, okay? Both of which are clients of mine. They are trusting their front line, and their service providers are going and saying, hey, not just how do we do what we do, but what is it that you need done? How do we solve your problem? And they're giving them the authority and the autonomy to solve those problems. So imagine when you can expand beyond simply providing a travel solution, but to the other challenges that someone might have that are preventing the travel that they want to do. Imagine what that could be. And the best way to do this is the way I shared in the beginning, and that is by asking the question, what if? To change anything, the first thing that has to change is our brains, the way we think. There's an inertia to the old way of thinking that just wants to keep doing the same thing. The most basic human brain function, cognitive function, is to ask questions. Your brain and mine, thousands of times a day, are just asking questions. It's like a computer, just and answering those questions. Let's say you're driving. Your brain is going, these are internal questions. Which direction am I going? Is the light turning red or green? Should I turn left or right? What did she say? What did she mean by what she said? So what I'd love for you to do throughout this day, okay, this is a Zoom conference, but it's obviously a lot of fun. The Hawaiian things going on. People are very upbeat. It's being run very well. Start to observe the questions that your brain asks. And these are internalized questions. They're not verbalized. It's the self-talk that's going on inside of all of us. And by the way, that self-talk does nothing less than define the quality of your life and all of your results. Everything comes from the way we're talking to ourselves. So if you change the questions you're asking, you change your results. And while there are many great questions, you already know my favorite. It absolutely, you know this, it's something you've done before, but I'm going to invite you to revisit it with me. The question is, of course, what if? What if we could do that? What would it look like? Oh, I know, it's crazy. We're probably not going to do it. But what if we did? How would it work? Or what if we had to create this? How would we go about doing it? Here's the challenge. I'm going to bet you every one of us on this call right now has what I call the naysayers, the ones who throw wet blankets on new ideas, the ones who shoot things down. They've got this negative influence. Oh, we can't do that. That's going to cost too much. That's going to take too much time. Or my favorite, we've never done it that way before, right? You've got them somewhere in your life. If you don't have them anywhere in your life, be careful, because it might be you. Not on this call. No one on this call, right? Here's what I do with the naysayers, because I'm an artist. I get them a lot. In fact, there's 2 people in my life I know are going to be the ones who have that sort of a negative response to my crazy ideas. And I live on ideas. I do crazy things. I performed a duet of Beethoven's 5th Symphony on stage with myself via hologram. A hologram of me appeared next to me and I played. I did the first ever cross-country concert tour on bicycle. Okay, so that's a weird idea, right? I love these ideas. I get so excited about them. And here's what I'm thinking about. Hey, what if we did this? I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. And Mike, you don't have enough time for that. That's going to take so much. You don't have the money for that. Here's what I say. You're right. But what if we could? How would we do it? Oh, I know it's nuts. But what if we had to? How would it work? It's so cool. It's what I would call conditional surrender. You are surrendering to their point of view. You're right, this is crazy. But you're moving on with the solution anyway. You're just going to do 3 things. Number 1 is going to open up your opportunities every single time. Right now, in the face of COVID and everything, it's going to open up opportunities. Number 2, it's going to increase your results over time. And number 3, it's going to upset them. And I kind of like that. So I want you to ask the question, what if? What if we could do that? If you have people on the phone with potential clients, online with potential clients, in your whatever situation, strategy sessions, saying, well, what if? Well, what if we could do that? I guarantee you, you will discover opportunities that you haven't had before. So cool. So that's number 1. Companies who are successful right now are discovering opportunities, new opportunities. They're not sitting around waiting for whatever to change, things to go back to the way they used to be. They're number 1, discovering opportunities. Number 2, this is what if. Number 2, they change quickly, very quickly. They get rid of the negativity toward change, and they jump straight in and they change fast, okay? My clients for years would come to me and say, Mike, we're trying to manage change. We're trying to manage change. Change is all around. Change the economy, change the technology. Well, now change has been thrust upon us, right? And people with an aversion to change, entire organizations with an aversion to change, are not making it, okay? Those who are waiting will be left behind. So Peter Drucker summed up my philosophy about this perfectly. He said, managing change is not only stupid, it's dangerous. The only way to manage change is to create change. And now my words, to be the ones who step out and define the curve rather than follow it. And I would argue that when you ask the question, what if? Either individually, which I want you to do, or I love it when entire organizations will say, well, have a what if meeting, okay? JACKI knows how this works. You guys have done this. You've done it wonderfully, as a matter of fact. What if we could do that? It could be a whiteboard. What if we could create this result we've never done? And allow people to give their input. It's amazing what happens. You need to get rid of the red tape. You need to get rid of the reticence to change. And what we're going to do, there are people in your organization, some who will never be on board with change. And that's unfortunate. There are some, though, who are reticent to change, but they're still valuable team members. And you know that, don't you? So what we're going to do during the breakout session is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about exactly how to bring people who are not into change, who are not readily on board with let's try something new, how we can bring them along as well. I call it humanize the change. In the next session, we will talk about humanizing the change. I look at the changes. I had to change quickly. I had to look at the things that are going on around us as opportunities. And I want to share one of them with you right now. This is one of the things that's happening in the world, even before COVID. That's a little different than the way what things were when I grew up. And it's fun. It's for any of you who are parents, because you've dealt with this before. It goes like this. See if this has not happened to you or someone you know. She called on her new cell phone from somewhere at the mall. I could hear her girlfriends laughing at her side. She said that she was next in line there at the tattoo stall, and she just called to ask if I would mind. And I said, Mama, you're too old for a tattoo. And while you're under my roof, you'll do what I say to do. So I'm home from the mall. I don't care if all your buddies from the senior center want one too. Mama, you're too old for a tattoo. You want to show you're still vivacious here in your later life. But Mom, I just don't think a thong's the thing. You were 7 times a mother and 40 years a wife. You look creepy in a belly button ring. Mama, you're too old for a tattoo. And while you're under my roof, you'll do what I say to do. I mean, you're almost 73. You should be watching Jeopardy and not hitting on that kid of 62. Mama, you're too old for a tattoo. Want to just have a little fun with you there. So, let's get back into this. Number 1, we're going to discover opportunities, asking the question, what if? Number 2, we're going to step out and change quickly, getting rid of the red tape, getting rid of the reticence to change in the organization, and we're going to talk later about how to humanize that change for the people you know you want to be on board with this, but who have a natural, whatever in their life has caused them to not be into change so much. You can actually bring them along. I'm going to show you how to do that. So there's a third point that every organization who's successful right now is doing, and that is they act decisively, okay? They're cutting through the red tape. This means that they have to raise their risk tolerance. The reason organizations do not act decisively, and individuals as well, by the way, is because there's a fear of failure. There is a fear of what's going to happen. There's a fear of the negativity that could happen from action without having thought it through. And yes, there's a level to which we need to have a healthy caution. But the organizations who are successful act decisively and realize that to succeed faster, you need to fail faster. To succeed faster, you need to fail faster. Elon Musk has talked about that they want to increase their failure rate. They want to get through the problems and get through the things that don't work so they can get to what does. A lot of folks want to try to think through and get rid of those. And it usually doesn't work, and it simply causes us to slow down. And we could debate this all you want, but the fact is, we watched this happen. I watched this in Walmart, how quickly they changed. We watched this in Amazon, how quickly they changed and acted on things. I watched this in my client. I mentioned Orkin a little bit earlier. Orkin didn't realize that they have a process. I mean, they're the pest control company, but they realize they have a process for cleansing and sterilizing. Well, shoot, that's what the world needs right now. And so a process, a product, a service that would have taken over a year, this is their management telling me, would have taken over a year, they rolled out in 2 months. Why? Because they acted decisively. Now, there's a mindset I want you to adopt that's going to allow you to act decisively. And it goes like this. Early on in my speaking career, I was invited to speak for a group of Georgia high school technology students. And there was about 300 students, high school students. And the breakup of the group was, the largest single group was African American, second was Hispanic, third was white, and fourth was Asian. And they were from rural communities, from urban communities, and everything across the board. And they wanted me to share my what if keynote experience, and they wanted me to do an additional session on racism, sexism, discrimination, unfairness, and how those affect success. And I thought, yeah, send in the middle-aged white guy. So, but I hit it head on, and I asked them 3 questions. I said, okay, did racism, sexism, and discrimination, unfairness of all sorts, exist 100 years ago? They said, yeah. I said, do racism, sexism, discrimination, and unfairness of all kinds exist today? They said, oh yeah. I said, not to sound pessimistic, but do you think that racism, sexism, discrimination, and unfairness of every kind are going to exist 100 years from now? They said, yeah. I said, so what does that mean for you? It means succeed anyway. Succeed anyway. Will it be harder for you? Probably. Succeed anyway. Is that fair? Not on your life. Succeed anyway. The moment you blame your lack of success or anything wrong in your life or in your business on anything other than yourself, you take all of your power and you hand it to the very people you don't want to have it. The only way to change the system and the best way to stick it to those who would hold you down or your competition is to become a raving, undeniable success. Succeed anyway. You say, oh, but I don't have enough education. I don't care, succeed anyway. I don't have enough money, succeed anyway. I'm too tall, too short, too fat, too thin, too ugly, too pretty. Nothing ever works out for me. I had a bad childhood. I know, it's okay. Succeed anyway. This is the attitude that corporations, associations, and individuals, especially from leadership, need to develop. They need to take the mindset of we are going to succeed anyway. When you have that succeed anyway approach, you will act decisively. So, we're going to discover opportunities, asking what if. We're going to change quickly, and we're going to act decisively, succeed anyway. We'll flesh these out a little bit more in 30 minutes. I want to move on here. There's the three of them together. I use the question, what if? I use the, what now? What are we going to do now? To think about the possibilities, to think big. That's how I got to perform at Carnegie Hall. It's amazing to get to play there at all. I got to play there 8 times, okay? And so this works. I got my own show on the Strip in Las Vegas. Right now, I'd like to share with you a goal completion. This is a piece of music I heard, and I thought, I want to play that on a guitar. And people said it was crazy. But I went for it, and it worked. And this is probably, the first piece I played is the second hardest piece I've ever played in my life. This is the hardest. It's from Queen. It's called Bohemian Rhapsody. And here we go. Richard Bach once wrote, here's a test to see if your purpose in life is over. If you're alive, it isn't. That means there's a purpose and a reason and a divine way that we are here, that we are in this conversation, that we are in this current situation. And there's a purpose behind the things that we do. The world needs what you bring to the table. The world needs the services that you provide, and they need you to do it well. That's why we have to say, hey, what now? We need to discover opportunities. We need to change quickly. We need to act decisively. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike. That was fabulous. And I know many of our agents are so excited to be spending more time with you shortly. Because Mike, he's going to do a deeper dive on how to apply his concepts more directly to your business. Followed by more workshops where you're going to be able to hear from many of our ALG Vacations leaders. And of course, don't forget, we're going to have trips given away in those live workshops. So be there. In addition, you're earning points on everything you do to engage with us, and you're going to earn other trips. And don't miss our live supplier showcase from 3 to 4:30 Central Time. You're going to be able to chat with hotel and destination representatives at nearly 100 booths. And you're going to be able to learn about the latest updates about the destinations in your favorite resorts. So I hope you enjoyed today's general session. I really look forward to seeing you again tomorrow on day 2. Thank you so much, and let's keep ascending to new heights.
Once again, a song titled Pa'ama goes a little something like this.